Hi, my people. So we just jump into this straight away, not mincing words at all. I want to welcome you back to our channel, and it's Mentor Shade again here for Unified Oski. Please click the subscription button if you haven't done so before, and like what we are doing here for you, and share with your people who will benefit from what is happening here. Now, let's go again over what we've been doing about nurses registration to New Zealand and Australia. So, if you want to do this, there are criteria that you must meet, and there are things that will make the journey easier for you as a registered nurse in your home country. So, for two group of people, we will be making this talk. For those who are registered already in a developed world country, talk of United States of America, talk of United Kingdom, Republic of Ireland, Canada, probably Australia, Singapore, just name them, developed world countries. If you've been registered, there's a pathway you take which will exempt you from writing English test and doing competency assessment program. That is if you've been registered in those countries that we've mentioned or trained in them. Now, another pathway would be for you if you are in any of other international developed world countries, talk of India, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Republic of Benin, Togo Republic, Uganda, just name it. If you want to gain this registration, there's a pathway, and that pathway is almost the same, but the big difference would be if you are still in those countries practicing there, if you are not yet in those developed world countries, the first world countries that we've mentioned before, if you are not practicing in any of those countries, then you will need to ensure you get the required band of English test and do a competency assessment program at some point. Now, what are the information that you need to supply to this body that would make you fit those criteria, those standards, the registration standards? The standard is you must fulfill some identity documentation standard, which means you are to supply two forms of identities when you are filling your form. I will leave a link through which you can start this process at the end of this production. So you can just click in, get registered, and then start your registration. So all you need to do is supply those two form of identities. Your international passport is very important, it must be there, and another means of identification, which could be your birth certificate, could be your wedding certificate, another another photo ID documents. Maybe you are in another country, you can use biometric resident permit and all that, or driving license, you can use them, but you must notarize them with a notary public, or if you are in a place, you can take them to the post office and they will certify them. Some post offices have had, like, they've been deemed acceptable to sign, and those documents will be accepted. So that's because some of them have lawyers, they have had sworn oaths to take up such responsibilities. So don't be surprised that if you are not using a notary public, or if you hear someone saying that they used post office, it's acceptable, and that's the reason I've told you. And please don't just take it to any other lawyer. Don't say my brother is a lawyer, is a barrister, is this, is that. If it's not a notary public, it's not going to be acceptable. Another thing you can do is use the notary camera. Is a bit pricey, it's on the website for this New Zealand registration. You can use that one to attest, to notarize your documents, if that's what's very easy for you. Now, when you are done with that, ensure that you've been practicing in this profession. At least you are practicing in this profession in the last 2 years, and you're having 2,500 hours of practice per annum in those 2 years. That one, you are fit. Then your registration body, the body that gave you your certificate that says you are a registered nurse, must be able to verify you and say you are fit. You have not committed anything that would make your registration questionable to them, so they will need to do a verification for you. You will bear the cost of all these things we are mentioning, and when you are done with that, you will need to do an international criminal history check. You will make a payment for this. When you get to that stage, you will be informed on how to do it. You will have, in most situations, New Zealand, Australia, they have their vendors which is fit to work. Then you go through them, you make your payment, they will do everything. The moment you fill the form, supply the documents you need to supply to them. Now, your English language requirements, very important. That is if you've not been registered in those countries we've mentioned before: USA, UK, Canada, Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Singapore, Australia. If you've not been registered there, then you will need to fulfill English language testing system level, band, the modules they require, the band of the modules they require, or occupational English test. And this is, you must have 6.5 in writing, you must have 7 in speaking, 7 in listening, 7 in reading. But the beautiful thing about New Zealand is you can club as many results as you like. Just make sure that you get all those bands in all those things you are clubbing, and those results must not be more than 12 months apart. So you can have band 1 in any of the modules that you like, but make sure, if like you have band 1 in reading this time, and next time you have 7 in it. If you have band 1 in listening this time, next time have 7 in it. If you have band 1 in writing this time, next time have 6.5 in it. So in a way, they are a bit more flexible than the United Kingdom, where you all have to have 6.5 in writing, 7 across modules, and you can only club 2 results, and you must not drop more than 0.5 from any of their required band at any point in time. So these, I've sent them mails and they've responded to me. I'll put the mail at the end of this. So please get set into doing this. And when you've created your account, you make a payment of $300. The moment you made that payment, you will get some documents that you will need to send to those areas that you need to send documents to, like your employer too must be able to declare that you've been working with them. But interestingly, just in the past few months, they opened another channel that you can just self-declare that you've been practicing. You will fill the form and you will declare that you've been doing this job. That one, you can actually jump the employer declaration part of it. But if you still want to go ahead to do it, so please go ahead and do it. Okay, so when you are done with those things, pass your documents across, and CGFNS will tell you that they are going to upload your documents in 6 weeks. You have to do a good follow-up with them, please, so that your documents does not get mixed up. They don't miss things out. I've seen situations where they've lost somebody's document, like something you've tracked and you've seen that it's been received, they did not upload it and they lost it, and the person had to go through the process again. So please do a good follow-up with them while you are waiting for the 6 weeks. And then you will need to bear the cost of all those documents you are sending to them, the one you send from your nursing council, the one you send from your employer if you want to do the employer declaration, if you want them to do the reference for you. You bear the cost of it to work. You bear the cost of registration when they've assessed your documents. When CGFNS has assessed your document, that is CGFNS New Zealand part. You know, we have the CGFNS that is assessing for USA. We have the part that is doing for New Zealand. And if you've started the USA part, you can actually request they transfer your documents to CGFNS New Zealand. Then you just need to put in some things that they are going to request for. When you filled your form, if you are to be exempted from English language tests, especially if you are in those countries that we mentioned that they do exempt, all they will send you a mail for you to attest that they should exempt you. Then when you are responding to that, try to upload the result that you had, that you want them to exempt you from writing another test from. Then you will see it. You can monitor your dashboard. It will start from 0 to 100%. The moment they are adding some things, they are accepting some things, you will see some will be red, some will be yellow, some will be green. Green means that they've assessed it, they've accepted it, they are happy with it, you don't need to do anything about it again. Yellow means they've possibly received those documents and they are waiting to assess them. Red means they haven't got the document from you, so you need to send them. So please, as you are getting those things, keep sending to them and keep checking your dashboard to monitor whatever percentage that you are getting. When they are done assessing your documents, they are happy with your documents, the next thing they will do will be to transfer your information to New Zealand Board of Nursing, and there an assessor will reach back to you and let you know they will be assessing your they will first reach to you to let you know they will supply you an assessor within, is it 20 days or 14 days, and that assessor will come to you in those days and say they will assess your documents, will be ready in the next 14 days or something. Most times it's usually quicker than that. The moment they are done with the assessment, if you are in USA, UK, others, then you will be granted your annual practicing certificate. However, if you are in the other countries, you are practicing there, you've not been to any of those developed world, you are going through those pathways as an internationally educated nurse that haven't practiced in the other worlds, because these people that they are exempting, they believe that they have the service, the care at par. Their nursing practice is at par with the nursing practice of New Zealand nurses. But others that they are not exempting, they will invite them to come over and do competency assessment program. Thank you. From here we're going to continue next time, and I will say you should subscribe to the channel. You should let your friends know what is happening. You should at least share with them, share the good news with them, because this is bound to make life easier for all and sundry. Thank you.